Hello, it's been a while. Oh, and I've got low kilobits per second. Of course I do. Well, I'm in the 8,000 range. I don't know why the bar is so low. Maybe it'll come back at some point. Who knows? It's really fluctuating though. Strange. But let's get into it. God, I'm gonna be staring at that fucking bar the whole night. Ugh, anyway. Okay. We're looking at Pokemon Snap this evening. Hey, there's the green. I'm slowly trying to, catch back up on games that I've looked through cut content for. In the past, I was, right on top of it and would, finish a game and then look at what was cut from it, the next day or so, but we fall behind. I mean, hell, last time I did a reading day, I was supposed to do what was cut, but I wound up reading instead. I say I was supposed to. This is based on a standard that I set for myself. Because I like consistency. I like keeping the consistency of my streams, but that doesn't always happen, as you can see. Anyway, let's get to it. Pokemon Snap is a first-person photography game featuring 63 of the 151 original Pokemon, where you can, as the game implies, snap pictures of said Pokemon on the imaginatively named Pokemon Island. I didn't realize that's what it was called. That's very funny. Let's see, this game is mainly remembered nowadays for the fact that for a time you could have your pictures printed out on stickers when going to participating Blockbuster video outlets in America or Toys R Us stores in Australia. Cha! I don't know what that was about. I never did this as a child. I didn't know this was a thing until I got older. But I do have one of the original Blockbuster Pokemon Snap cards that you would put into the machine in order to get your pictures printed, because you had to take your cartridge with you. And then there was a special menu on this. It was a physical kiosk too, and collectors have found these kiosks and have bought them, and there is a Pokemon Snap, a working Pokemon Snap kiosk at a local video game store near me, and I've always wanted to bring my copy of Pokemon Snap just to see if it works, or just to see how it would look, because the sign on it does claim that it does work, and it is up and running. So I am very curious as to what my pictures would look like when printed out. That'd be sick as hell. Anyway, let's see, we've got dev info, prototype info, and pre-release info. I always forget what the development info entails. Also, if we get through this fast enough, I've got Rayman 2 waiting in the wings. Let's see, scraps. Ooh, we got some scrap music. Alright, everybody talk about scrap music. Ooh. Fantastic Horror. This is a stage song that was discarded for various circumstances. Silent Prayer. Oh, I like that. I've always liked spooky songs that have that doom da da doom da da 1 2 3 1 2 3. I think that's a waltz. I think that's waltz time. I could be misremembering, but I seem to remember that I think waltz is doom da da doom da da doom da da Okay, so it's not quite waltz time, but it's close. Because the spooky beat, one of my favorite songs in RuneScape has this time signature where it's doom da da doom da da doom dun, dun, So like the horror spooky beat is like slightly slower than a waltz. Dun, 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 boom, ba, 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 boom, ba, 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 boom, 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 ba, dum, boom. Whereas the spooky beat is just dun, 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 boom, ba, ba. It's so strange how you could get a completely different vibe just by changing time signature, but also major versus minor keys, of course. I like this one a lot. Love the bells too. That's another funny thing. Bells can be used to evoke spooky or Christmas. Or religious, I guess, but still. Spooky, Christmas, religious. Three very distinct vibes, some of which bleed into each other, like religious and horror. Let's see, this music track was intended to play in the Cut Ghost level. Oh, man. I would have loved that level. That would have been sick as hell. Preceding text has been transcribed exactly as presented in the original source. Oh, okay. Also, I don't know if y'all have noticed my my new cursor set, but I what's the word? I backed more angel hair plushies, and one of the bonus things that you got is an angel hair themed cursor set, and I fucking love it. It's so nice. Look at that cute little hand. Although for some reason on the stream preview, it looks like the mouse is inside the other mouse, and I don't know why. I am gonna I'm actually gonna check on Twitch and see if it's doing the same thing that the stream preview is doing. Let us see. Oh, you can see it on stream, but for some reason on my actual monitor, you can't see it. That's very weird. That is very strange. I don't know why it's like that. The stream reveals all. Anyway, oops. Bonked my keyboard with my phone. Let's see what the second music track is. One called "Theme of the Horror Boss," which was supposedly intended for some type of boss in the level. It is rather unclear what boss could refer to, as no boss fights are in the final game aside from Mew. Oh shit! We got some fucking beats in here? Fuck yeah. Hello, Linnea. I'm just taking your fucking... I'm like segmenting your name. It's too long to say Millennial Humor. So it's like Mylin, Linnea, Hugh. I like Linnea though. I keep forgetting my keyboard. When I can type it on the screen. I feel that. I've been there. I do like this beat and this shit rips. Oh, I like that little flourish near the end. Good stuff. Oh. Okay, I guess the play pause button on my keyboard corresponds to the last thing that was paused or played. So we're gonna go back to the Final Fantasy music. Well, goddamn it. Turn up ye speakers. I don't know. That's why I have the main music turned down so low. It's also why I tend to lean in towards the mic, because I'm still struggling to find a good balance in terms of music volume to mic volume. My mic volume's turned all the way up, well, at least on OBS. Let me check the mic volume on Windows. Jesus. That's not it. Hold on. There we go. Okay, we'll do 100 volume and see if that helps. If it does, let me know. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Seems to be better on OBS's end as well. My mic volume on Windows was at 94, and I just turned it to 100. See if it'll help. Oh, it's Snail's House. I love Snail's House. Excuse me. Prototype. Crap, hold on. I forgot to shut my door. Okay, we're back. I've also been expecting a cough drop because I know I'm going to be speaking a lot. So if you hear me munching on something, that's what that is. Okay. And I did eat dinner before this, thankfully. Cheesecake is by far tied with donuts for my favorite dessert / sweet. They're both great for two different reasons, which is why they're tied. Donuts are like fluffy, soft. Sometimes they're a little bit crunchy. I like the cakiness of them, whereas cheesecake is like all richness, the softness, the like the tangy taste of the cheese aspect. Oh, wonderful. Anyway, prototype for Pokemon Snap. The kiosk demo plays much the same as the released game, including retaining the ability to save the game file. However, there are, however, a handful of differences. The player is permitted to... Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, want to see more Get Pokemon Snap. The album is also unavailable. Yeah. It's always the smaller differences that are less interesting. Let's see. What pre-release info do we got? We have some video footage. Oh, development timeline. Okay, it started... Okay, so in 1995, in spring, a game about taking pictures titled Jack and the Beanstalk starts development for the Nintendo 64 DD, which was, on its own, a failed Nintendo peripheral. Nintendo's always been crazy about their peripherals to add on to the console. It was always part of their mindset or their philosophy to like reuse old technology to give it new life, you know? And the 64DD, which is short for 64 disk drive, was going to be an add-on for the N64 as far as I can remember. I'll have to go back and check the Did You Know Gaming video on this, because they cite their sources with primary sources, and it's beautiful. The disk drive only ever came out in Japan, and it only ever had, like, maybe 3 or 4 software / games for it, one of which was an N64 version of Mario Paint, which is called like Mario Studio or something like that, where it went beyond just like an MS Paint style where you could like make your own 3D models and shit, which like I feel like if that was released today, people would go fucking nuts for it. But the fact that you had to buy an extra add-on for your console probably didn't help. I mean, hell, they had been doing add-ons since the original NES, if I'm not mistaken. They definitely started doing add-ons for the Super Nintendo. And that was the Satellaview, which was basically like satellite TV, where you had like a specific time block where you could play this specific game. And then when the time block ended, you couldn't play it. And it was like, they had specific air times and stuff. It was crazy. And a lot of it's lost media. Recently, like within the past 5 years or so, they managed to recreate and or find most of a broadcast satellite version of a Zelda game called BS: The Legend of Zelda. Hilarious. But BS just stands for Broadcast Satellite. And it was a specific... It's like The Legend of the Stones or something like that, where you don't even play as Link. You play as some kid in a blue hat. Like in a blue baseball hat. It was weird. I need to watch that video again. That's so fucking sick to me. But, you know, understand, but also you had to like pay a monthly fee, so it was very similar to other satellite programs. And again, it only came out in Japan, and it only lasted for like maybe 3 or 4 years. But either way, back to Pokemon Snap. In '97, the concept is retooled into being about taking pictures of Pokemon. November 21st through the 23rd, Pokemon Snap is announced at Space World, which is essentially the E3 of Japan in the 90s. For the 64DD, with an expected release date of fall '98, promotional footage was also included in a press tape. I hope that's later down the line. Here on the page. March 21st, the game is released in Japan. June 30th, the game is released in North America. Wow, in '99. I had no clue it was released in '99. What was I doing in '99? I was 5 years old, probably playing a Sega Genesis or an N64. I don't actually know when we got our N64. I can't recall. I do have vivid memories of sitting on my parents' bed and playing both Sega Genesis and N64. Not at the same time, mind you. For whatever reason, whenever we got our N64, my parents were like, we don't need the Sega Genesis anymore. And they claimed that they put it up in a closet, but I never saw it again. Even when looking in said closet, it's just gone. So, I don't know what the hell happened to it. Regardless. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Oh well, back to it. Oh yeah, what was I doing in '99? I know I would occasionally be babysat, by the daughter of one of my dad's friends. Her name's Emily. I still talk to her sometimes. She's chill as fuck. And her wife seems very nice. But at the time, I have specific memories of watching Emily play, probably shouldn't have said her name. Too late. No last names. E. My former babysitter, E. I have specific memories of watching her play Pokemon Snap on the water jungle level where you're floating down the river. And I remember being so fucking flabbergasted, like, oh, it's just like the anime. Because I didn't grow up playing the Pokemon games. My parents never got me a Game Boy. Cannot remember why. Probably their excuse was probably you had video games at home. Because they didn't understand the concept of games being like buying new books. Here we are. 2000, the game is released in Australia, and September 25th, the game is released in Europe. Oh wow, they had to wait almost a full year. Over a full year? June of 99 and then September. Yeah, over a full year. Conception. Pokemon Snap, according to former Nintendo president Satoru Iwata, may he rest in peace, he was the soul of that company. First started development as an unrelated project named Jack and the Beanstalk. Very little is known about this iteration, aside from it being about taking pictures, though it may have made use of the 64DD special features, like the clock, for example. And may have had some connection to the fairy tale of the same name. The dev team working on it was codenamed Jack and Beans, which explains the presence of a Jack and Beans logo in the final game's intro. However, according to Iwata, said dev team realized that there wasn't any real goal or motivation to play the game, and as such ended up turning the project into a Pokemon-based game to give it some appeal, which I think is cool as fuck. Oh, the concept art! Shown in the German version of the Pokemon Snap official strategy guide are a few interesting pieces of concept art. Oh. I'm glad it's less blurry on y'all's end. That is sick as hell, though. I like that a lot. There's a fucking seal in the background. I think the Pokemon's just called Seal. The little village right there. Yo, that's cool. We got some bridges. Honestly, if they had just made this an exploring game where you run around and take pictures of stuff in the third or first person, that would have been sick as hell. Whoops. Hold on. There we go. That's better. I forgot I had that. A sketch of Pokemon Island, which was quite a few interesting differences. Oh yeah, let's look at the final one. Well, that sucks. Whew, that's blurry. I need my glasses. There's the river that you go down in the third level, I want to say. The first level's down here because you run along the beach. Well, no, it starts right here because the tracks, because you eventually go off the tracks and then in down. You get the point. And then there's one of the caves that you can go into, which either has the ghost Pokemon or the electric theming. I forget which one. But this whole soundtrack is so good. Semi-unrelated. I'm just reminded of the songs that I would listen to when going through those levels, and they are bangers. Banangarangers, I don't know. Let's see. A sketch of Pokemon Island, which was quite new and it has quite a few interesting differences. A long column of smoke is seen emerging from the volcano, which isn't seen in the final game map. The volcano is actually seen smoking in-game in the volcano level. That may have been something that they either cut from memory or time, because they'd have to figure out how to render that in a nice enough looking way. But honestly, the image just looks like a pre-made background, and so they'd have to figure out a way to like make the smoke either move or something, and they just couldn't figure it out in the time that they had. Pure guesswork on my part, though. Dr. Love. Let's see, an island is also seen in the distance, yep. Also missing in the final game. It's also possible this was an early sketch of the island or a level. Yeah, that's what I thought it was too. The layout of the beach is slightly different, lacking the rails. instead showing a faint dirt path and having some sort of lighthouse-like building near the beach. Moreover, the bay area shows a cave entrance which is missing entirely in the final game. The bay area? What's the bay area? I guess right here. I don't know what a I never stopped to think about what I guess right here. Because there's a cave right there. And then the cave that's over here on the right in the final version is not here in the prototype sketch. Also, the little tiny village is just gone. The layout on the beach, no. But yeah, I see what they mean by the lack of railing. The entrance to the tunnel shows some rails which are missing in the final game. Yep. Wait, the entrance to the tunnel shows some rails which are missing in the final game. Entrance to the tunnel. Am I fucking blind? What the hell? Split view. Oh! Oh! That's fucking sick as hell. Thank you, Firefox. Thank you, Fox. Thank you, Tree. Okay, so... Whoa, where's... Oh, there we are. There's the final... Right here. Okay. Moreover, the Bay Area. The entrance to the tunnel shows some rails which are missing in the final game. Entrance to the tunnel. I don't see a tunnel. I see the cave right there. Sick. Anyway. I don't see rails. I see some bridges right here. Oh, I think that's what they mean right there. There's like a rail system that looks like a bridge, and I thought it was a bridge. There's the mistake. Let's see. The lava pools in the volcano level are missing in this sketch. Yes, they are. There is no lava anywhere. It's just assumed to be there underneath the smoke. Lava pools. The entrance to the cave level near the river area is missing in this sketch. The entrance to the cave level near the river. Yes, okay, yeah, that's what they mean. The one that's like up here. This guy right here. The valley level appears to be clearly visible here, while in the game the river can't be seen and only Mount Dugtrio can be seen. Mount Dugtrio. Oh, the thing in the background. Yeah, that's what they mean. The valley is right there. And then in the sketch, the valley is like more present, which I'm assuming is what this is. What appears to be a village, yep, can be seen around the end of the river and the volcano levels. The path leading from the village to the beach, while this location is nowhere to be found in the final game, a slope sits where the path stood on the map, and in the beach level, a path leading up the hill is faintly seen at the start of the level. This village, if abandoned, may have been the setting for the scrapped ghost level, which could be supported by the presence of a church, as bells can be heard in the level's main theme. Yeah, okay, so they are bells. And I guess that's just what one interpreter's idea is. And I see it. I see the vision in the Scarlet Witch. Yeah, this is where the village would have been if they included it. And, like, I could see it being a haunted, abandoned village, because the path that leads down in the sketch is still sort of there. At least the hill of where one once was. And so it's very interesting to see. Wonder if I can... No. Dang. Oh well. Let's see. What appears to be... Nope, village. Some Pokemon can be seen on the map with a Charizard flying around the top of the volcano. Oh, there he is! I didn't even fucking notice him. Oh, and a Psyduck next to the river. There's a Psyduck next to the river? It's too blurry to tell. Interestingly, the beach area shows a shelter and a dugong. That's what it is. This is a dugong. It's not a seal. Seal is the pre-evolution. Swimming in the sea, while the final game, I think the shelter's right here. Shelters is only found in the river level, and dugong is nowhere to be seen. Correct. Dugong does show up in Pokemon Stadium 2, though. Maybe in 1 as well? I don't know. Yo, we got more concept art. Let's fucking go. How do I close this? Uh-oh. I unlocked a new feature, but not how to control it. God damn it. Oh! Sweet! Nice. Good on you. 2 sketches are also in the guide. The strategy guide. Showing 2 levels which don't seem to resemble any of the ones in the final game. The first one appears to be set in a gloomy field with tall grass, a dead tree, and what appears to be a full moon. Yep. In the sky. Also seen in this sketch are 2 tall rock formations which are each having a path spiraling around them. Oh yeah, these, yeah. What looks like a city carved out of a giant pillar. That's just something I made up. Their sides lined with holes from which Pokemon would have more than likely emerged. Given the rather bleak atmosphere, it's possible that it may have been the scrapped ghost level. That's another possibility, is that, like, oh, this could have been the ghost level instead of the village that's no longer there. Though it could have been just as much a completely unrelated level concept. We have no clue. Pure speculation. The other sketch depicts what appears to be a river with giant holly leaf-shaped plants growing alongside, there's a typo right there, rather strangely rounded dead tree-like plant. Oh yeah, I see the holly and the dead tree looking, it looks like a balloon animal. An alternate route blocked by a spiky rock is also visible. Oh, right there. This may have been reworked in the final game as the river level, as it also features a river and an alternate route that is blocked off. I could see it. Maybe this is the water. I do want better looks at those, though. Of course, it's blurry. And there's low poly. Not Victory Bell. The one before it, Weeping Bell. This is definitely a more arid or deserty looking place. Would have been cool as hell, though. I want to say that there's like similar looking areas in new Pokemon Snap, but I'd have to go back and play through the game again and check, but I'm probably not going to replay through Pokemon Snap until I play it on stream. Whenever we get to the Switch collection playthrough. Which are probably one of the last ones I do alongside the PS5 collection playthrough, because I am still currently actively collecting games for those. Whereas with the PS2 and the older consoles, it's more of a passive thing. I mean, hell, I just recently bought a PS4 game this past week. It's the Mass Effect collection. Because I borrowed my friend's copy because I wanted to try it, and immediately fell in love with it. It's really fun. I like it a lot. But yeah, that is very interesting desert-esque landscape. And this one, which is very strange. Yeah, there's the holly, the balloon animal looking place. That almost looks like a, I cannot remember the Pokemon's name, but it's one that's based on a coral reef. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Unless one of y'all in chat gets it first. Coral reef Pokemon. Not reed, reef. minus AI. No. No, no. Corsola. It's Corsola. Oh, it's from. Oh, it's a level in Pokemon's. Okay. I found a Bulbapedia page for Maracopia Reef, which appears to be a location in new Pokemon Snap. Yeah, and one of the Pokemon you can take a picture of is Corsola, which is how I remembered that name. Look at that little Polypidgey. Yeah. I am curious as to what this is right here, this blue swatch, because it looks like the concept sketch was colored in either by its previous owner or by the original maker. Who knows? Maybe it's further down. We'll see. This is very interesting, though, because I still can't tell what this is, you know? And I'm like, is that meant to be water or dirt? If it's dirt, these are very strange. I mean, it's not unheard of for these little, like, raised up land masses to be a thing. I forget what they're called, though. But yeah. And if this is water, then the water is very low. Yeah, well, that's what I was looking at. It's, oh, these look so sick. I may save these if they're high enough quality. Yeah, they're sketchy. Oh, these look so fucking cool. And these are concept arts that were actually used in the game later on. River, Volcano, the valley, the cave, and the tunnel. No, I wish these were, no. Oh, wait. Oh, that's a little better. That's a little better. Man, those are gorgeous. Wow. This looks like a fucking Hanna-Barbera movie. I love this. I'm saving this. Shit. Complain when you're caught out in the rain. Your mother's quite insane. Cat food, cat food, cat food again. Sorry, what's playing is a King Crimson song, but put through using the sound font from Final Fantasy VII. I'm also going to save this in a new window, just in case. Alright, yeah, we're good. Wikia finds. This is so gorgeous. I wish I knew who painted / drew these. These are so good. I don't like this one as much, but it's still fascinating to look at. You can see the pathway that they trotted out. That just looks like molten cheese. I like that. It almost looks like an alien planet, but hey, sulfur fields tend to do that. At least I imagine this is like a sulfur field where like the surrounding smokestacks prevent most life forms from surviving. Come on, Skitch, we'll lose them in the geyser fields. This one definitely is a sketch of a level that actually shows up in the game. Because you go along this rock, there's a few Pokemon on a little island. This is slightly different, though. Still, this is so fucking cool. I'm gonna send these to some friends that are also Pokemon fans. Now that I think about it, I'm going to... Okay, this one. I'm gonna send all of them. I'm gonna save all of these and send them to my friends who are Pokemon fans. I think they'd like this. Like, oh. Fucking ancient ruins? Are you kidding me with this? That's sick as fuck, dude. But the presence of rails gives me the vibes of like modernization or colonial expansion into ancient ruins, which, you know, putting our overthinking cap on is like, it's a commentary on colonialism. Not intentionally. I'm gonna crack open a root beer. Barks, my favorite. Right into the mic. Okay, so it's almost Mayan or Aztec looking, but I don't know. It's almost like they combined different ancient cultures to make that, to draw that. Because it's got the layers of an Aztec pyramid, but it, like, each layer looks like sections of an old Egyptian pyramid, which I find fascinating. And they've got a mix of like palm fronds / trees, which may not actually be palm trees, but like the cultural assumption of what a palm tree looks like, rather. You've got a bunch of moss growing on these trees. Trees? No. Walls / maybe terraces. But yeah, I love that. No use to complain when you're caught out in the rain. This is my fucking favorite one. I love this. This is so beautiful. Oh my god, dude, I am gushing over these. These are so fucking sick, dude. Just go like dude bro with it. Bro, these are fucking sick. Bro, this shit's fucking lit. The articulation of the stalactites and stalagmites are very intricate, my dude. I love making dumb archetypes or archetypical dumb archetypes talk very intelligently. It's like a weird form of like wholesome humor. Similar to how I like make my like 1800s gold prospector voice speak in eloquent word choices. It's great. I love it. But yeah, this shit. Wait, did I already save this one? Yes, I did. Alrighty. And the fucking cave part 2. Oh, this is the one where you float downward. Oh, I like that. Definitely more vibrant and purple / what the fuck is that specific shade? It's not, it's like red purple, but I forgot the name of it. Red purple. It's not red purple, but I hope you know what I mean. Oh man. This is fucking awesome. Yep, alright, I got that. And then the fucking sketch for the tunnel with the generators and the electric Pokemon. So that's what are those? Like rail switchers? Or just like lights? I really can't tell. I couldn't tell what they were in the game. But that's just because it was low poly. That's fucking sick as hell. Yeah, like, I can't wait to show these to my friends. This is so cool. And at least on some level, some of my friends are fans of this stuff if it's about a game that they really like. Or a series they really like. Still not sure what those are. It does make me want to... The fucking rendering on that button really makes me want to just fucking hammer fist and just... Don't know what it does. But it's gonna do something. Oh man, that's awesome. turn up the music a little bit. I forgot I put a 2-hour PS1 ambient video game mix song / video in here. And this type of shit is very comforting for me. Especially going to sleep with this. Oh, I love it. Is it still available? Okay. Space World 97, fuck yeah. There we go. Anyway, Pokemon Snap was announced at Space World 97 along with gameplay footage on a press tape at 1835. With this footage taken on November 12, 1997, the game looks very different at this point in development and was originally targeting the 64DD. The level appears to be a take on the Safari Zone, featuring a forest section and a savanna section. Let's pause the ambience and see what we got. What the fuck is this? Turn that down. Nothing's even playing. What the hell? Did this not load properly? Let's reload it. Nothing. Okay. Weird. Let's throw it into a new tab and see if that helps. There we go. It feels nice not to have to wait, not to have to wait forever and a day for a video to load like on my old laptop. Space World 97, 64. Look at all those fonts. The power. Okay, how long is this? Ooh, flashing lights warning. I apologize for that. Oh, look at the... That's late in development for Ocarina of Time. Wow. Either that or it's meant to be advertising for the 64DD and the add-on dungeons. Oh, the targeting reticle is different. Everything else is about the same. Oh, the A button... I just realized the A button is the sword button and the B button is the interact button. They switched it in the final game. Slightly different version of a Tektite. Oh, it's ad break time. Damn it, wrong button. There we go. Good evening, VOD watchers or anyone who got lucky enough to just miss the ad. You look at the ad and said, miss me with that ad shit. How many times can I say ad before it gets weird? Anyway, the kilobytes are fluctuating. Anyway, hope you're doing alright. I beat my playthrough of Fallout New Vegas. I also beat my copy of Forbidden Solitaire, which is really, really good. It plays wonderfully. And the best part is it's not fucking poker. Jokes aside, I really do like it, and I'm just not a fan of poker. I started playing Pseudo Regalia, though, which is fascinating. I didn't realize it was a 3D Metroidvania, but honestly, I really like the exploration in 3D. It's really cool. I mean, part of me feels like I'm doing something wrong because nothing's really happening that much. I'm just looking through different rooms and stuff, but overall the gameplay is very interesting and it keeps me glued. I also started a replay of Final Fantasy III on my Switch a couple weeks ago just to have on the side if I'm like in public and bored. I'm just like, I'm just gonna play some Final Fantasy III. And today, before stream, I was like, I don't feel like playing a new game right now, so I'll just keep playing my copy of Final Fantasy III. Final Fantasy has really become a huge comfort series for me. Big time. I own almost all of them except for 13 and 15, which I don't think I will ever. What's the word? I don't think I will ever buy, because the story for 15 is uninteresting. The story for 13 looks interesting enough. I think I'll wait for them to remaster 13 if they ever do. I don't know if they ever have. I don't remember. I feel like they would have at some point, you know? I don't know. Either way, I've got most of the stuff moved out of my room except for my desk, my PC, a standalone cabinet that I use to put my video game stuff in. Right now it's serving as a station as a platform for my PS5, so I can still play Final Fantasy XIV on the weekends. I've got a giant dresser that's not actually going to move. I got a different dresser that I'm going to use instead of this giant one, so we don't have to move it. A second dresser that will have to move, and my bed, and a giant plastic tote that holds a shit ton of CD cases, because I collect CDs. And this is not set up for a D's Nuts joke, but hey, if you want to say one in your head, you do that. And we're back. Hello. I was talking about games I was beating and the current situation of my bedroom. Yeah, let's get back into it though. We're gonna pause the ambience and oh, that's definitely a beta not Bacop. God damn it, what the fuck am I thinking of? Dekubaba, that's the term. Hey, Yoshi's Story. I've always wanted a copy of this. I feel like it can't be that much, right? I'll have to check. I do like this game, though. It's a very weird one, though, in terms of design. Huh. This is a really weird game. Fellow VTuber and friendo Violetta Witch played this, I think last year or a year or two ago. F-Zero X with more fucking flashings. I have a digital copy of F-Zero X, which is very hard but very fun, which is why I don't play it very often. I love the 3D dynamic of just these weird spiral tracks. Because this is where the spiral nature of the of the F-Zero tracks came from, is F-Zero X. The original F-Zero didn't have spiral tracks. I do want a copy of Diddy Kong Racing at some point. It looks very interesting controls-wise. Supercharge. More flashing lights, I apologize. What's that? Oh, okay. They rendered his legs differently. That's from base game. It looks like it's from the final one. Okay, it's definitely not the final game because oh, what the fuck? Because the sword is still mapped to the A button as opposed to the B button. I don't remember if she does that in the final game or not. What is that? What is that they're doing? Are they showcasing like the increased polygon count? Oh, look at that goofy bastard. I remember him. Oh. Huh. Really wish they wouldn't flash those lights. That's ridiculous. What is that? That's a weird... Is that a Tamagotchi board game? It is. A Tamagotchi board game for the N64. That's weird. I feel like it would have sold well in the US, though. I don't think it ever released in the US. Hey, Banjo-Kazooie. Oh, wow, that's a weird... That's definitely beta looking. That's definitely the beta. Things look slightly different, but it's mostly the same. What the fuck? Oh my god, a Kimba the White Lion game? That would be so cute, even if not many people would recognize Kimba. And the fact that people assumed that Kimba was like a ripoff, or Lion King was a ripoff of Kimba, even though Kimba came out in like the 70s or 80s. That is a prototype version of the Goron Mines from Ocarina of Time. I can tell because that entrance that leads down into this boss fight is different in the final game. You also get the boomerang in this fight originally, and the bombs also look different. At least on screen. I hate that. Oh, that's 24 minutes. Okay, my bad. Oh, that's Hey You Pikachu. Game Boy Camera. 64 DD. Oh yeah, this is what I was talking about. This actually shows what the DD looked like.
64DD
DD.
今までにない
So that's where
新
this
しい遊
famous
びを
footage
次
came
々と
from.
提案している任天堂64。そしてそれは任天堂64ディスクドライブ。
Yeah,
すな
it's
わち
sat on top of it just like
64DD の
that.
登場でさらに深く面白くなる。自分でゲームを作っていくを味わえる 64DD。
And even N64s today, like the final version of the N64, if you turn it upside down, you'll see that the 4 feet sort of that it stands on has holes in them, and in the center of the underside of the N64 there's a little tab that you can pull off that's got what looks like an upside down cartridge slot. That's what it would. That's what the Nintendo would have like sat on, was the 64DD. Like they had planned this years in advance, only for it to fail. And that's what the DD cartridges looked like. You'd have the main one that powered the DD that had extra stuff in the back with a mouse. Nintendo was like expecting people to like surf the web with this, if I'm not mistaken. Talent Maker, that's what it was. Talent Maker, that was, I think that's where you could make the 3D models. Yeah. And make animations. Oh, that's so weird looking. Wow. I've never actually seen the full video. Make her taller. Wow. That kid is probably in his 30s by now. Maybe older. Yeah, you can face map too. Yep, put your face on there. They had face mapping back in the N64 days, where they tried to do it again on the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series, specifically with Underground and Underground 2. You could take a picture of your face and scan it into the game with specific cables. Oh, I didn't know there was mini games with it. That's cool. Wow. Yeah, I feel like if people had this today, they would go fucking crazy with it. DD. Polygon Maker. I think this is where you make your 3D models. Because in that one, you had like some pre-made stuff to work with. Yeah, this is where you fully make the 3D model. Polygon Maker. You start from square one or cube one. Yeah.
複雑な立体デザインができる。
A full-on 3D model maker. That's so crazy. Like I said, this kind of creativity was so ahead of its time, I think. Picture maker. Okay, let's get to why we're here. Oh wait, oh, there's Pokemon. Although maybe Pokemon Stadium. Henshin transform. I think it is Pokemon Stadium. Looks like it. Oh, you get a 3D Pokedex. That's cute. Complete with all 3D models. Dang, some of these look rough. Oh, look at fucking Ekans. Oh, look at little chubby Meow. Him baby boy. Oh, he shows you stats too. Oh, he shows you move animations? Wow. This was definitely an add-on for Pokemon Stadium. Yep, Pokemon Stadium for sure. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Pokemon Stadium, or Pokemon Snap. Oh, wow. That looks very different than the final game. There's a whole ass bridge. The icons for the add-ons look different. The rock. You're just throwing rocks. That's so bad. You're just throwing fucking rocks at Pokemon. This is interesting, though. I love this. Yo, that Snorlax looks darker than the other ones, or than the one in the final game. It looks like his Pokemon Yellow. Don't throw rocks at animals, people. Don't throw rocks at animals. I'm glad they replaced this with the Pester Ball. Yeah, the animations are very early on, for sure. Oh, we got a Meow taking a bath. Oh, they reused the flexing pose. That's cute. The UI is definitely different. Huh. That low poly Pikachus looks so cute. Oh, look at them little nibs for legs. Dang, all these poses in 3D is miraculous for a 3D game at the time. A lot of 64 games were not known for their dynamic 3D animations. Okay, what else is there? We got the Game Boy Player, which was on the original, which was on the SNES. Oh man, that was fun. Anyway. Okay. Oh, good. We have little screenshots that show us specifically what the deal was. Pre-release and final. Oh, the Japanese version. Okay. Pocket Monsters Snap. Pocket Monster. The HUD is different, for sure. The HUD is more grouped together in the pre-release. And then they're slightly more separated in the final. The film canister is, one, it's formatted differently, and it's on the left side instead of the right side, which, like I said, small changes like this may not interest that many people, but for me it's fascinating because it makes me wonder what made them want to change it. I mean, that just looks better because it looks like the film's just rolling off the side of the screen. That looks sick as hell. The HUD displaying the number of photos you can still take is different. Being placed on the left side, yeah, of the screen instead of the right. The film reel is slightly taller I'm amazed they could figure that out. And the extremity of the film band is slightly curvy and visible, as opposed to the straight and hidden off-screen. It appears that in this build, only 6 pictures could be taken, which makes sense, because they were, like, heavy, like, mid-beta? I don't know. And the film would roll up with each picture taken, shortening the length of the visible film strip. That sounds cool as shit. Hiding the numbers for the exposures used. Yeah, that's cool as hell. I didn't even notice that in the video. Like I said, closer in one bar versus separated by their own button icons. The item selection slot is less refined here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it doesn't even tell you which button to use unless they were all mapped to one button and you just swapped between them. Yeah, look how low poly that is. The design of the camera's screen is more complex in this version. Yes, it is. Like, you've got like little sight lines, I guess. So whereas in the final, it's just like a reticule and a square. The camera check UI is very different. Excuse me. Let's see. Yeah, the sentence in the text box is photos are difficult, huh? The options are put in the album and return to index. Out of the woodwork. The binder looks similar, but it's in the pre-release. It's more the aesthetics look more like an actual binder or notebook as opposed to the general video game UI mixed with the paper background. Gameplay differences. Well, for one, they're in a completely different area. Oh, I just realized the terraces in that sketch that I saved earlier with the ancient pyramid in the background. I just realized they took the terraces concept and applied it to the beach. I didn't even fucking notice that until I saw it. I was like, oh my god, there are terraces. Or what look like terraces. On the beach of the final game. And oh, that's sick as hell. Looks like he's got the chunky mouth. He looks like he's got the pouty mouth, like me. The HUD displaying the number of photos, yes. Out of the woodwork. Even further along, the photo UI looks different. This is still the same from further back in development, presumably. A strip of film with the number /120. It may have been used as a counter limit for taking photos. This page or section has one or more broken YouTube links. Well, that sucks. Yeah, they took it out. No wonder. What about this? Oh. Oh, it's on. Why would they put this on DeviantArt? French orange. Just buried in this person's random DeviantArt page. Is this? That's so odd. Oh, shut up. Alright. Early Pokemon. Throughout the game's development, certain Pokemon had a few differences when compared to their final counterpart. Mankey does look different.
ポケモンの写真をうまくカメラに収めるには
Yeah, Mankey looks more rounded. Here we go. The animation's definitely different. He also looks bigger, I think. At least it looks like it. Ekans is present, whereas it's nowhere to be found in the final version. Oh, is it not? Oh, I don't even remember that. If it was present in the final game, it would make for a total of 64 Pokemon in the game, which I think would have been cool to have 64 Pokemon for an N64 game. The Snorlax does look different. Snorlax's dance here is different, yeah, than the ones it had in the final game. It also appears to be a different color, yep. Not shown in any currently known footage. Is Snorlax sleeping earlier or later in the level? A Pidgey. This one is definitely more vibrant and blue than the final game. There's more like dark spots around the belly of him, whereas in the final the sections look more connected. Squirtle jumps. Yes, he does. He does not do that in the final game. Well, he kind of does. He jumps out of the river and he jumps up and down, I think, near the end of the valley level. That looks like the Pikachu from Hey You Pikachu. How many times can I say Pikachu before it stops sounding like a word? Out of the woodwork, you came along for a laugh. Yeah, no one step on Snack. Do not tread on Snack. Oh, it's so dumb. What the fuck? Are these images broken? They might be. Oh. The fuck? I think this is an old page. Oh, there's the double Pikas. Oh. There's the 0 kilobytes. And we're coming back. Maybe not. Out of the woodwork. Excuse me. Oh boy. Very inconsistent kilobits per second. It's going back up a little bit. Either way. A closer look at what happens to be what appears to be an early model of Meowth. I did that one. I looked at that in the video. It's almost like I didn't have to look at the whole video. Although that was all only pre-release info. Nice. And now for the unused graphic. It's getting close enough to the time where I feel confident that if we finish this a little bit early, I'll go ahead and call it. Dratini has an unseen blinking animation. It looks like he's winking. Looks like he's winking at me. Looks like 1FX. Yes, it does. Start game. The kanji symbol for temporary is a placeholder. Japanese text saying start game. The unused blinking Dratini animation. The crash debugger, which is cool. This game has a crash debugger. To open it, crash the game in some way, then enter this button code. Hilarious. Scroll through the pages. Oddly enough, unlike the identical iterations of the crash debugger in Kirby 64 and Smash Brothers, the routine that would display the third page is missing in this game. This has the effect of crashing the debugger, ironically, once you reach the second page, which means that only the registers and the stack trace are viewable, which I don't even know what that means. Anti-piracy. Like several N64 games developed by HAL Laboratory at the time, there's an anti-tampering method in the game which is implemented in 2 of the game's objects for a total of 3 checks. That's just my keyboard, sorry. These checks are done to ensure that the game is running on a genuine cartridge which has the correct CIC chip type, which should be 6103 in NTSC versions and 7103 in PAL versions. The two checks is implemented in the volcano object, which loads up when the player reaches the title screen. When the volcano object is loaded, the game reads the stack pointer at that and ensures it returns the value 6103, 7103 in PAL, or the CIC chip type. Next, it reads that in the stack pointer memory and ensures it returns the value FF -1. If there is a mismatch, then a pirate flag is set in the player object as true. There's one more object called 504770 that has a function at that, which subtracts a value at that by 8, checks if it's equal to 0. If it isn't, the pirate flag is set as true. However, the function doesn't seem to be called by any of the game's objects. The flag is checked when the player saves at Professor Oak's lab. If this pirate flag is true, then the game calls a function at that when the player saves their progress, which prevents saving the player's pictures, and thus making any further progress impossible. That's fascinating. No sarcasm. Hey, regional differences, okay. A much simpler logo in the Japanese. Although I think a lot of the Pokemon logos look like that, whereas the American version is just wacky. As in most other Pokemon games featuring voiced cries, most Pokemon appearing in the game had their voices changed to match the English dub of the anime. However, some Pokemon did not have their voice cries changed, because at the time of the game's release, these certain Pokemon did not have an English dub voice. The Pokemon who did not have their voiced cries changed include Metapod, Diglett, Dugtrio, Pidgey, Psyduck, and Porygon. Huh. Interesting. Revisional differences. Oh, the Virtual Console changes. Snap was the first Pokemon game released on the Virtual Console, for the Wii probably, and one of the first Virtual Console games to have modifications to the original ROM. Nintendo's stance on game modding, go figure. Oh yeah, wow. Send to the Wii message board. Once per day, the player can send one of the photos they took to the Wii message board by going to the gallery, choosing a picture, and then pressing minus on the classic controller, or if using a GameCube controller, the first player's Wii remote. While this mimics the Snap stations that were available when the game was released, it only really meant something if the player had a lot of people in their friends list to send photos to, and the termination of the Wii Connect 24 service, as well as the Wii U's Wii mode omitting the Wii Connect 24 features, has rendered this feature utterly pointless. Correct. Ah yes, Jinx. Oh, Jinxie, Jinxie, Jinxie. Jinx's face was changed from black to purple in order to match with the Pokemon's modern design, which had to be changed due to the original's unfortunate resemblance to a person wearing blackface. Oddly enough, her hands are still black. Yes, they are. This was fixed in the NSO version. Ah. Yes, it does. Yes, it does indeed. And with that, we are gonna friggin' call it. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna call it there because that's the end of the page, and we don't have time for a new one, so we're gonna go ahead and bookmark Rayman 2 for next time. I want to try. Well, first off, thanks for watching, VOD watchers. Enjoy the next video if you feel like it. To my left are some recommendations. One randomly by YouTube, the others are linked to the playlist where all of the looking through cut content stuff is. Watch it if you feel like it or don't. It don't bother me none. Bye-bye.